What's up, guys? Welcome to Sports 2.0 Bets YouTube channel. My name is Tanner Kern, the betting guy here at Sports 2.0 Bets. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is ready to make some money. That's what we're doing today. March Madness begins. The first day of the NCAA Tournament is today on Thursday. First massive slate. I know we had the first 4 games the past few days, but today is the day. We have games from 11 to midnight, and it's going to be epic, guys. We're going to get right into it, and we are going to talk about every single game here at the channel. Find me another channel talking about every single game in like a short 4 to 5 minute video. That's what we're doing here at the channel. But anyways, guys, before we do that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're working hard here to get you the betting picks, you the content that you need right now to win money. And also, guys, make sure you check out Betting Superstore because hungry dogs run faster. You can get that on a t-shirt and so much more, guys. Let's get into the picks. So, as you can see on the side of your screen, we've got every single pick I'm making. So if you don't want to watch me, you don't want to hear me talk, I know there's some people I annoy, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? You know what? You can look right there. But anyways, let's get into it. We're going to start with Michigan and Colorado State. I like Michigan money line. Why do I like Michigan money line? Well, you know what? Everyone's saying blah, 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 blah. This is the game. The reason this is the game that shows Michigan should not be in the tournament, right? I don't buy that at all. Michigan played a Big Ten schedule. The Big Ten's a tough conference. Strength of schedule means something in the NCAA tournament. Colorado State played in the Mountain West. Yes, they're a better team against the spread. Yes, they're a better team overall record-wise. But roster-wise, Michigan's a better team. They can run the floor, and they are going to show that. Michigan money line, I don't trust them to cover, but I like them money line. Then we'll go South Dakota State versus Providence. Now, most of the money in this game is coming in on South Dakota State at +2, which is surprising. I do like Providence. Again, a Big East schedule. These teams are even. Providence, 25-5, 17-13, playing a big 17-13 against spread, playing a Big East schedule. That means something, guys. South Dakota State doesn't play anyone. Their record proves that. I mean, they dominated, but this isn't that good of a team. I like Providence. I would take Providence at -2, but I'm going to play it money line, play it safe. Still good value there. Go with the Friars. Memphis money line versus Boise State. Now, Memphis can run the floor. They can absolutely run the floor. If they get going, they play good in this game, they will beat Boise State. If they don't, they will play bad. I'm going to count on them to play good and run the floor because if they do, Boise State cannot keep up with them. But on the other hand, they are inconsistent. But I do like them. Memphis rolls today. Go Tigers. Norfolk State +20.5 versus Baylor. Now, I'm going to do like a public service announcement about all these massive spread games. I would stay away from them, but I'm going to give you my picks for every single game. That does not mean I'm betting them, but this is what I would do if I was going to bet them. This is not a juicy line by any means. 20.5 points either way. I mean, Norfolk State should get blown off the floor, but again, it's tough to win by 20.5 points, especially in the NCAA tournament. You look at what coaches are trying to do, trying to sit their starters because they got to play in 2 days again. So with that being said, I like Norfolk State to cover 20.5, but I'm not betting this game. Anything can happen in the NCAA tournament. Norfolk State is 17-9-1 against the spread this year. I know they played a mid-major schedule, but still, that means something. I'm going to go with them to cover +20.5 there. Longwood +18. Same kind of principle there. Longwood's 20-9 against the spread this season. They have not played an SEC schedule. I don't even freaking know what conference Longwood plays in. Not many people do, obviously. But the bottom line is Longwood does not play anyone right. They've been good against the teams they played, but the fact of the matter is it's 18 points. It's tough to win by 18. Now, there is a game here that I'm going to pick the favorite to cover a massive spread, but in this game, I'm going to go with +18 for Longwood. Then we'll go Richmond, Iowa. Back to the games that actually matter. Iowa 9.5 here. I love Iowa in the NCAA tournament. I don't know what it is about this team, but they have a roster that can make a run. I think Iowa, 26-9 on the season compared to Richmond at 23-12. They've been better in the Big Ten than Richmond's been. I think 9.5 points is a fair spread, and it's one that they can definitely cover. Now, Hawkeyes were great in the Big Ten Conference this season, and the Spiders' strength of schedule does not make the cut. So I'm going to go with the Hawkeyes there. Georgia +23.5 versus Gonzaga. Now, as I said before, the big spread, stay away from it. Not this one. Not this one. Georgia State +23.5 versus Gonzaga. If there is one number 1 seed getting knocked out of the tournament in the first round, it's going to be Gonzaga. I'm not saying it's going to happen in this game, right? But Georgia State being given 23.5 points to Gonzaga, I don't think Gonzaga should have been a 1 seed. And people, get mad about that. I don't know what it is. Listen, they've lost 3 games this year. They lost 3 games. They play a shit schedule. And on top of that, when they've played out of conference, those Power 5 games, they haven't played well, right? So why are we putting Gonzaga as a 1 seed? I don't think they deserve it. You got Timmy, blah, blah, blah. I could care less. I'm going to go with Georgia State at +23.5. Not saying Georgia State wins. If you want to take a risk, go ahead. Like DraftKings doing that promotion, the double your money on $50 bet on Gonzaga. Well, you know what? I think that's a good bet. I would take it, but honestly, 23.5 points is too much for Gonzaga. They don't cover spreads well, especially big spreads. Go with Georgia State. Then we'll go Marquette versus North Carolina. North Carolina -3.5 here. How can you not love North Carolina at 3.5? I think Marquette, good team, average team in the Big East, but North Carolina is rolling in the 8-2 record in their past 10 games to end the season. I mean, they beat Duke at Cameron Indoor. That gets you excited. That gets you going, right? I'm going to go with North Carolina 3.5 there. Then we'll go New Mexico State plus 6.5 versus UConn. I think UConn's a great team, just have not been good against spread. 13, 18, and 1 against the spread. It would not surprise me if New Mexico State sends UConn packing, but at the same time, I still like the Huskies to win overall money line, but 6.5 points I think is a little too much, considering UConn does have tight games, and they win tight games. This is, I've said it all along, this is a UConn team that could go off and win a national championship. I mean, that's just their formula every year, right? If they get through this game. With that being said, though, 6.5 points, I'm going to play it safe. I like the free points. I'm going to take it with New Mexico State and the Aggies. Then we'll go St. Peter's versus Kentucky. I like Kentucky at minus 18. I've done some research on St. Peter's. I don't think they should be anywhere on the floor with Kentucky. Oscar Schwebe. Don't know if I say his name right. I never do. But at the same time, he's going to help them cover by 18 points today. Indiana plus 2.5 versus St. Mary's. This is a juicy line, in my opinion. You're going to give me a free 2.5 points with Indiana against St. Mary's. St. Mary's plays in the same conference as Gonzaga. Blah, blah, blah. It's such a good basketball conference. No, it's not. Indiana plus 2.5. You're giving me a free 2.5 points in the Big Ten conference, a team that plays a Big Ten conference schedule. Are you kidding me? I love that bet. Indiana 21-13 on the season, going against St. Mary's, free 2.5 points, Big Ten schedule, all signs point to Indiana. Love that. Then Creighton plus 2 versus San Diego State. This is another game that's, I like what Creighton did in the last half of the season. I really did. You look at what they did in the Big East Conference tournament. They were really good. I mean, they were really good. They blew out Providence. They lost to Villanova in a tight one in the championship game, but they still blew out Providence, right? San Diego State, good basketball team, still don't play that same schedule as Creighton. Creighton and San Diego State, very even numbers, very similar. If Creighton plays good defense consistently throughout this game and they get shots to fall, that was the recipe for success against Providence in the semifinal game of the Big East Conference Tournament. There you go. You got something happening there. If they don't play, a well-rounded game, they're going to lose. But I like them at plus 2. It's free 2 points. I'll lock it up. Then Vermont and Arkansas. Now, I was thinking about going Vermont for a second, literally a half a second. And then I'm like, why? The SEC is back. The SEC is one of the best basketball conferences in America this year. And Arkansas is a hungry dog. And you know what? Hungry dogs run faster. Vermont plus 5. I don't think 5 points is enough against Arkansas. You give me plus 10, maybe I'll consider it. But 5 points, Arkansas is 20-12-1 against the spread this season. They're really damn good. So why are we going to bet against Arkansas? That's just my take on it. A lot of people are going with Vermont. I think 55% of the money's coming in Arkansas, 45 on Vermont. Don't quote me on that. But at the same time, too, guys, how can you not love Arkansas? minus 5. Come on now. I love that bet. San Francisco versus Murray State. Murray State minus 2. Murray State's more athletic than San Francisco. They can run the floor better, and they're well conditioned from what I've seen, at least. The Racers win this game. Simple as that. Akron plus 13.5 versus UCLA. UCLA was supposed to be this big-time authority in the Pac-12. I haven't seen that this year. I mean, they've just let me down as a bettor. Akron may not play a great schedule, but you know what? 13.5 free points. Both teams are 17-14-1 against the spread. Coin flip, 13.5 points. I like Akron. It's the NCAA tournament. The dogs usually come to play. Ride with it. Texas Southern versus Kansas. Kansas minus 21.5 here. I look at this game. Texas Southern's just not on the same level as Kansas. In no way whatsoever are they on the same level. The Jayhawks have been no stranger to big spreads. They're still 17-17 against the spread, and they've been double-digit favorites a lot this year. That's the case with a lot of these big-time favorites. They're always double-digit favorites, so you gotta be a little picky with those against spread records. But at the same time, this is a game that Texas Southern should not be on the floor with Kansas. Kansas wins. They cover the spread there. And then Eastern Washington plus 13 versus Fresno State. I love Eastern Washington at plus 13. Fresno State's athletic, but if the Eagles can play good defense, that's the key. I mean, if they play good defense, they're going to be fine. If they don't, they're in trouble. They will cover as dogs. Teams 19-12 against the spread in 2021-2022. So that does it, guys, for our video today. NCAA Tournament Day 1 picks. We'll be breaking down Day 2. That video will probably be up later tonight. Got this one out a little later than I would have hoped, but hey, what are you going to do, right? Content never stops. We're working baseball here, basketball here, football, hockey, soccer, you name it. We're doing it all, guys. Sports 2.0 Bet. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you soon for another video.